What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We live it like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our way.
In this episode, we make plans to leave Gorontalo. The boys all went on an excursion for a fuel mission, loading up not one but 3 tuk-tuks with all our jerry cans. Then it was time to head to shore for provisions. But our fun was short-lived when we received a phone call.
So we've just received a phone call from our friends on Brave. She's just rung us and said there's men all over your boat. So our boat's back on anchor. We were in town getting groceries. She said there's about 6 men just climbing all over your boat. They're up on your roof, they're in your cockpit, they're everywhere. And she yelled at them and they're claiming to be Navy. So anyway, we're on our way back. We're gonna go and have a look and see what's going on here. But this is the shit that's driving us insane with this place.
We were instructed by the officials to go and get our visa paperwork, our passports and our boat registration. We dropped Ian off on the way. Having not had many private sailing vessels through these parts, the immigration officials didn't know how to deal with us and treated us like commercial vessels.
Well, we are leaving Gorontalo after a really interesting couple of days. As you'll see in this episode, we got to swim with the whale sharks, which was just amazing, absolutely amazing. Wasn't quite as authentic as we were hoping, but it was still pretty incredible. They're just such a majestic creature. Gorontalo itself, the city, it's not too bad. It's pretty good. The anchorage was really tricky. We had a lot of drama getting in that night, finding a good holding, finding a good swing room. Like it was a bit of a nightmare. But once we really bit hard with that anchor, because we were catching some big bullets off those hills. Look, all in all, it was good. The shopping was fantastic. We basically stocked up on everything. We're fully loaded with fuel. The groceries, the supermarket at the City Mall in Gorontalo was probably one of the best we've seen in Indonesia. It sort of rivaled anything we had back home, like Woolworths or Coles or something like that. So that was bloody brilliant. The only downside we had, which we didn't film, was we got boarded again, this time by the Navy and immigration while we were off the boat. We got a phone call in town from Kim on Brave saying, look, there's men all over your boat, and they were actually standing up here on the panels. They walked on our little hatches here. You can see the black boot marks all over the boat. That was from immigration and Navy. While we weren't here, they just walked all over, and she said they were getting selfies on our dolphin seat. They were climbing up in our boom bag, taking photos themselves. Like, that shit is just not on. Anyway, so we got back to the boat and there was 20 Navy on an inflatable, 20 Navy guys, 2 immigration officers, which they just had no idea what they were doing. I think because there's no cruisers coming to this area, they had no clue. We tried to explain to them that we're not, bound by the commercial laws, in that we don't have to have an agency or anything like that, and they just argued with us. They told us we weren't allowed to leave our boat, that our visa wasn't right, and we're just like, oh god. And anyway, it always, as usual, it ends with one of them asking you for some whiskey or some cigarettes or something like that, which to this day I've not given in once, and I refuse to. I'm not gonna pander to that shit. I hate it, the corruption here. And when we said we don't have whiskey, we actually said we don't drink and that they shouldn't either, and it's bad considering it's a completely Muslim town. We just said, oh look, we don't drink and you shouldn't either, and eventually they just said, oh yeah, okay, no, you guys are fine, you can roam around and do whatever you want. So all it is just a fleecing job. They just try as hard as they can to fleece you out of anything, and then once they realise they can't, then they're just not interested anymore. They got their photos and away they go. So that was a little bit of a negative experience. That being said, after all the bullshit, they were all really friendly and they offered to help us get fuel and they offered to help us get food and everything. So it's just, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. But I guess if you're expecting it when you come to Indo, then it's not so bad. But we weren't expecting this sort of thing, like the bribery and the corruption and all that sort of stuff. But it is what it is. Anyway, like I said, the highlights were the whale sharks, obviously, which were just out of this world. Shopping was good. You know, where we're going now, we're heading, we're actually heading to the west of Gorontalo to a couple of little islands, Tulaho, I can't remember how to pronounce it, to get a bit of a better wind angle before we sail south to the Tugian Islands, or Tugian Islands, however you want to pronounce it. So this whole area is just so remote. So we were really excited to be able to stock up as well as what we have before heading away. So yeah, look, all in all, Gorontalo's interesting. Would I recommend it to people? Probably not. But that being said, if you really want to go off the beaten track and go remote in northern Indonesia, this is the place to do it. And like I said, that supermarket was amazing. So anyway, we'll push on. I think we've got about 20 mile or 45 mile today, depending on what the sea state is, to our next anchorage, and yeah, we'll see what's happening. The weather here is quite obviously shit house. Big roll cloud up there. It's not a roll cloud, it's a shelf cloud. But anyway, yeah, get out west, see if we can get some better weather, and then head south. How cool is this waterline? Apart from the rubbish. Unreal. Big deep sea ocean water. And then obviously this is the water coming out of the bay here. Be full of sand and fresh water and all other sorts of good stuff.
With the sun shining next morning, we set off to explore. Finding this sweet private island.
So you could walk up that stair. Looks like someone else has already done it. Want to do it?
Yeah. What a beautiful spot. When we climbed to the top, we saw another beach nearby, so we decided to go and check that out as well. And we met some friendly locals ashore.
Hello.
This beautiful church.
Yeah, good, but good. And it looks like this resort's been abandoned. The little Love Heart boardwalk is gone by the looks of things, and the buildings are falling apart. There's no one here. Tell you what, COVID was not kind to Indonesia at all. Most of the resorts closed down or just got left to basically fall apart. I'd have loved to have seen what this place was like pre-COVID. Anyway, it wasn't meant to be. Such a shame, because that would have been stunning.
And here's what this stunning eco-resort used to look like. Love Island has a legend behind it, that a prince from Gorontalo and the beautiful daughter of a Dutch trader fell in love and would rendezvous on this secluded sand cay in the shape of a heart, a forbidden love during a time of war. Sadly, like many others, this once beautiful eco-resort has now gone to rack and ruin. We anchored on sand nearby and swam ashore to check it out. The only resident we found was this little sea crate. It was such a shame to see this once beautiful eco-resort completely abandoned, we assumed due to the COVID pandemic.
Oh, look at the door, so cool. It's pretty cool. Oh, it's a Love Heart sink. Everything's love heart. Oh, what?
Even the furniture was left behind.
How gorgeous.
And the restaurant and dining hall has been reclaimed by the sea. Getting into the spirit of love and Love Island, we took this photo and almost took our heads off. Join us next week where we swim with stingless jellyfish in the Tageans. Thanks for watching.